Hey guys, my name is Josh Smith. I'm the CEO of Montana Knife Company, and I have an exciting one right here. This is a brand new blade for us, the Mini Speedgoat, and this might be my new favorite knife. I absolutely love these. These things are badass. I really love the belly on this and the way that this blade sets up, the weight, everything. I'm actually packing to go on an elk hunt in New Mexico, kind of technically Thursday, but I start hunting next Monday. That's why I've got all this stuff kind of laid out over here. I'm getting packed up. This blade is what I'm gonna have on my pack strap, and this is what, if I get an elk, this is what I'm gonna use right here. So this Mini Speedgoat, I'll explain a little bit of how this came to be. So we had our Speedgoat. That's like one of our most popular knives, and that knife was named after an antelope in eastern Montana. That's what we call them, the Speedgoat here in Montana. And then we made the Mini Speedgoat, and everybody loved that. And in fact, a ton of people are carrying those in their pockets every single day. All right, and then we built our Stonewall knife, and that actually came before our Mini Speedgoat. But anyway, we built our Stonewall, which is a bigger blade. It's like the perfect elk hunting knife for breaking down a full elk. It's a very robust blade. And we did some design features on that where the spine of that Stonewall kind of comes up above the top level of this blade here and then drops back down. And it gives you that drop point feel, but it still allows that edge to be in a position where it's very handy and easy to use. A lot of times drop points, the way they're made, roll that edge down, and that edge or that belly of that blade tends to kind of be back a little more than I like. I like that to be presented right here where you're trying to work, right out in front of the blade. All right, so everybody loved the Mini Goat so much, we decided to make our Mini Speedgoat. And this thing weighs 0.9 ounces, so next to nothing. You won't even notice it's in your kit. The blade length from the front of this paracord to the tip is 3 inches. It's 6 3/4 inches overall length. And again, guys, like the rest of our paracord knives, you know, this paracord can be removed and used in the field. We actually did that with, Henry saw that, he was running this camera. We actually did that on my daughter's elk here a couple years ago where we took that Speedgoat, we actually cut the whole elk in half, and we took the paracord off of that, and we legit had to do this. The way it ended up, we didn't have our packs with us when we got to the elk. Gutted it out, cut it in half, and then we're able to use that paracord to drag those elk halves back up to kind of the top of the ridgeline where we were able to get vehicles and our packs and everything else to them. So again, this paracord can be very handy, and you can use it for, you know, broken bootlace, guying out a tent, any of those different things. And it's 550 pound test strength, which, you know, you're not going to break it with any kind of force that you personally can put on it. These blades are Magna Cut, but they're PVD coated. So that coating is very, very durable. It's very hard to scratch. It takes the glare off of that, kind of gives that black MKC look to this knife like the original Blackfoot had. And again, that stainless steel, that Magna Cut, the edge is very wear resistant. It's tough steel. That's why we're able to make these thin. Now I will say, and I'll preface this, this less than our Mini Goat, but this tip is very, very thin. Okay, so if you use it as a screwdriver, you're gonna break the tip. We are pushing the limit on a lot of our knives on thickness because I'm trying to build you the best cutting tool possible, but I'm not building you the best screwdriver possible. All right, so think about that when you're using it. If you have to get in somewhere and pry, a lot of times people pry in joints. You're not gonna pry an elk joint apart with this knife. Learn how to break that joint down where you get it down in and you cut those inner tendons, you pop those free, and that joint will just come apart. You can go right through the spine of an elk, you can go through the knee joint of an elk without prying or chopping or without a saw, any of that. You can just become a bit surgical with your knives. And again, I don't need a big knife for elk hunting. If I was to pair this with a Stonewall, I think you have the perfect kit for an elk hunt. It's sometimes nice to grab that big blade and just make big passes, or if you have to do heavy duty work. But this Mini Speedgoat is absolutely badass. And I actually do envision a lot of you guys carrying this in your pocket. Just like the Mini Goat, we have this pocket clip on here. It'll carry right in your pocket. Those of you that maybe that tip on that Mini Goat is just a little too fine for you, you do worry about breaking that tip. This tip's gonna be a little bit more robust than that just based on the design. And again, Kydex sheath right here, retention screw so you can adjust the tightness when you snap those into position. This clip can be taken off and reverse sides or just taken off fully. A lot of people are carrying these knives in their bino harness. You can cut the tails off if you want, or shorten them, or use these tails to tie off if you're worried about losing it. So a lot of versatility in these knives, which is what I think people like in their gear. They use gear differently. That's our Mini Stone Goat, guys. I think it's my new favorite knife. Thanks for watching.